I wanted to take a few moments and just navigate a few helpful areas that will be an assistance of making sure your scholars are on top of their work. When they log into Edmodo, they have their classes over here on the left. And if they click on My Class, whichever class they have me for, and they come up to here where it says Folders and click on Folders, I have some Office 365 screencasts that they can use and how to assign, upload, and share assignments. And then there's this link here called 6th grade ELA sites. In here I have direct links to Common Lit, which is one of the online sources that they've been doing for homework, No Red Ink, the table of contents that's been updated for their tome. This is the Office 365 sign-in page for when they're at home to be able to access Office 365 and ensure they get to the correct site. Then I have Clever Login here. And then I have a login password cheat sheet for students, which I've sent out before. USA Test Prep, how to submit assignments on Springboard, SOAR textbook. So if you click here on the login password cheat sheets, which the scholars have access to this information, it has all of the websites with what the username, password, school ID should be, and the actual site to the link. And specifically Common Lit, they had to write their first and last name down for the most part, but some of them have numbers, which they were supposed to write down in their password portion of their agenda. And so they always have access to this. So I see many questions. How do I log in? What are the links? And how do I log in? I see them all the time for these particular assignments. And they have a cheat sheet directly at their hands here, and then also I gave them one at the beginning of the year that we pasted inside of their agendas. Another thing that scholars have been seeming to have issues with is our anchor projects. And the purpose of an anchor project is to something that you are working on over time. And so I assigned our current unit on October 16th, which was about 15 days ago. And the due date, which is December 19th, and I included 10 buffer days for anyone who needs the additional time. And then it shows exactly how many, if they finish these little squares, like these are squares. So this is a deck 1, this is deck 2. When they finish this square, this one will automatically open up. And then on this particular assignment that I gave them, it has, we wrote down all the dates that they would open up in their agenda, so they would remember to do it. I've also got it written in the room. And then it explains how after exposure 1 from these decks, like this is exposure 1, exposure 2, so there's 12 total exposures. And then it talks about how like after immediately the first day, then 24 hours later, then 3 days, then 7, then 14, and then 28 days later, then they can, that's when those will open. And the reason why I can't unlock those is it's actually a research-based program that allows us to have those exposures of vocabulary over time, which helps it stick into their long-term memory. So it's really vital that the scholars stay on top of this. And again, I've got it written in the room. They've written it down in their agendas. They had this particular sheet, and I post it often to Edmodo as well. I just wanted to show you a little bit about how to get to that because scholars are still seeming to have a little bit of trouble. So through the login cheat sheets, this is our Clever Sign-In Springboard textbook. And so they would click here. And their login is lunch number, and then their password would be Cobb lunch number. And there's all different kinds of sites here. Mine's on the mine's a teacher side, so you won't see the student side. And if they click on Springboard, they'll log in, and there's his lunch number, Cobb lunch number. And to get to Zinc itself, they would click on the Zinc button, and then they click in these My Games in Progress. And what they're currently working on would pop up here in the middle. I have not the same site, obviously, but it would populate for them. And some of them are even still working on their Unit 1 to help bring up those project grades for this particular unit. And then if they go back to Springboard to access their bookshelf, which is their textbooks, they don't have all these other options. They just have the 6th grade textbook. then they have access to their textbook, so if they don't finish something in school, since we leave the textbooks here, they can click on the table of contents, they can go directly to the page numbers, which I do post on Edmodo. We went from Unit 1 to Unit 3 because I needed to be here to teach the scholars how to access and how to write arguments. So then they can go, like today tomorrow we're starting to work on activity 3.4. And so they can have access to all of that, and they can have the book read aloud to them if they need it read aloud to them. And they can also respond online to questions if they are absent. But again, it's a really great resource and a way to access these. And the scholars can directly message me through Edmodo, which is great because it automatically notifies me, or they can email me. And then I do my best to ensure that the posts for today and the homework are posted on Edmodo as well in the pin post. And sometimes the scholars forget to click like this more button, and sometimes it says like show 2 more attachments, and so the scholars miss the work that's there. And I'm also attaching another video for you to watch about how to access tips and tricks for student view and parent view, and how to double check on assignment descriptions and resources available for those. But as always, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.